Hello everyone. Today we will start your new chapter that is migration types, causes and consequences. In your last book that is Fundamental of Human Geography, we have studied about the definition and type of migration and what are the factor which causes the migration and different aspect that is push pull factor. So in this chapter we will study some other facts or those facts related to our country in terms of migration. So let's start. So in the introduction of this chapter there has been a story of a person named as Ram Babu. So he has been engineer in Bhilai steel plant, that is famous Tata steel plant is there in Chhattisgarh, and he was born on village of district Bhojpur, that Bihar, that is some other state, and he is currently working in Bhilai. So after taking birth he has studied engineering and then work as engineer in this Bhilai plant. Then after he had three children. After their education they also settled in different places, that is one in Allahabad and other is in Mumbai and one is in USA. So what they are trying to tell about this story is that this is not story of just Ram Babu or his children's. This is just example of all the peoples who migrated from one place to other place because of various factors, that is job and better health and education facility for their family members. So there are different type of causes for the migration in our country. So as we know that migration has been integral part and very important factor in redistributing population over time and space. That is population redistributed due to migration because of time and space. So as we know that in the historical perspective, India has been placed where number of migrants had came from the last too many century, that is people from Middle East, especially that is Afghani, Irani, and then Babar, that is Mughal, all have their origin from Middle East countries. So there is a famous poet, that is Firaki Gorakhpuri. He has uh, said in his part of in his poem, that is सर जमी हिंद पर अक़वाम आलम के फिराके काफ़िले बसते गए हिंदुस्तान बनता गया. What he mean by is that the caravan of people from all parts of the world kept on coming and settling in India and led the formation of India. So as people coming from other country to India, they similarly large number of people from India to have been migrated to different place in search of better opportunities, especially to the country of Middle East, Western Europe, America, Australia and Southeast Asia. So next is Indian diaspora. So Indian diaspora include the Indian citizens which has been settled abroad or which are working over there. That is NRIs, non-residents of India, and overseas citizens of India, and citizens which have which are of Indian origins. So as per foreign ministry stats, at present, there are 2.8 million Indian diaspora spread all over the world. That is almost 2.8 crore peoples are settled all over the world of Indian diaspora. So there has been mostly three waves which we will study in this Indian diaspora. That has been that people have been migrated from our country to other place. First is during colonial period, when Britishers were there in our country. So what they did, they took the indentured laborers. What we mean by indentured laborers, that which are bound by contract or which are not free laborers. So what Britishers used to do, they make to sign a contract by the Indian laborers to work in tea plantation in our country, and they used to take them abroad for plantation of sugarcane and different type of agriculture, that is mostly in the Caribbean island, that is Trinidad, Tobago, Guyana, Fiji, and they are mostly from the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And if you are fan of watching cricket, you must be familiar with the mostly West Indies players have their surname as surname of our country's people, like Ramneshwar Sarwan is also there, then Sunil Narayane, Shiv Narayan Chandrapal, they all are people of Indian origin, it means their ancestors are people of our India, so they are Indian origin people. So all such migrants were covered under the time bound contract, that is for such duration they have to be live there, and this time bound contract is known as Girmit Act or Indian Immigration Act. However, the living condition of these indentured laborers, that is bound by contracts, were not better than the slaves, means they are treated worse than the slaves. So next wave comes when the people start migrating in neighboring countries, especially the professional skilled labor, traders, factory laborers, for their better economic opportunities, mostly in the Southeast Asian countries, that is the ASEAN countries, countries like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei. uh, so there are some semi-skilled and skilled labor. So uh, and after the boom in oil countries, that is Gulf countries, especially in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, so people started to migrated there for the search of job during 1970s. And last wave was of compromise comprised of professional like doctors, engineers, software engineers, uh, and financial expert, media persons. After 1980s or after 1990s, that is the beginning of liberalization and globalization. And countries that were targeted during these migrated persons were USA, Canada, UK, Australia, means most developed countries. So they are being highly educated and highly paid professional group, which migrated from our country to these Western countries. So Indian diaspora is one of the most powerful diaspora in the world, and it has been playing a role in development of in respective country as well as in our countries. That is providing by assisting by giving remittances to our country or their family members. So thank you, children. Rest we will study in next video. Thank you.